Stuck in a job you hate? Wish you could break into tech, but don't know where to start? CBT Nuggets makes IT training simple, affordable, and dare we say, fun. With short, engaging videos and hands-on virtual labs, you can build real-world skills right from your browser. No expensive hardware, no confusing software. Just practical training that gets you job ready. Learn at your own pace, on your own schedule, from anywhere. Start your 7-day free trial at cbtnuggets.com. Because a better career is just a few clicks away.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of True Crime Time for Thursday, April the 17th, 2025, and I'm Woody Overton.
I'm Cyndi Overton.
What's up, Cyndi Overton? Huh? What you doing, girl?
Working. Right.
So we love and appreciate each and every one of y'all. Hashtag Justice for Haley. Keep it up. Scorch State versus Scott Peterson. I'm actually finishing it up.
Yay.
And it is just such a horrible case. The Menendez brothers, did you see what happened with that yesterday? So they said last Friday when the DA showed the crime scene photos in court that the Menendez's aunt had a reaction and she had to go to the hospital and she's in ICU, and they're trying to blame it on the DA. Like, motherfucker, you're in a courtroom hearing about a murderers getting released. You're supposed to show what's happening. And I mean, you didn't sit through the trial and see it. And the DA's office like, we certainly didn't intend to call somebody to go to the hospital, but, well, this is a murder trial hearing and we had to show the evidence. Right?
I mean, is she sick because now she realizes that her nephews are murderers, actually?
I don't know, but it's some crazy ass shit. So guess what? All the people who are backing them, they have not seen the bodies blown in half, parents killed by their children.
Well, the aunt did, I guess, yesterday, right?
Yeah. Well, it was Friday, I think, but anyway. All right. So today, it's the day before Good Friday.
Yes.
Woody Overton doesn't work on Good Friday, and that's okay. It's that time of the year. Very, very important holiday to me. Whoever you believe in or don't believe in doesn't affect Woody Overton one way or another. I still love you. I have what I have and what I believe in, and it's a very special time for me. This is going to be a very special year for my family because unfortunately, some of us aren't going to be here next year, but that's okay too. Life happens and goes on, but we love you lifers. We have a lot of big things coming up, a lot of different angles, things that we're working on. So stick with us. But let's, Cyndi, bless them with a true crime story.
Oh gosh, I don't know if this is a blessing.
Well, give them a true crime story.
I will give them one. We're going to go to Lake Marion Creek Middle School in Kissimmee, Florida.
That's where I lived. Kissimmee.
Kissimmee.
In my in my stint there as a security guard at I think it was like 29 holes. What's 18 plus 9? 27 hole golf course. And I rode around, y'all. I got to tell this story real quick. It's funny as fuck. I had to sit at the little guard shack and I had this little Mitsubishi truck I had to ride around. They had these old time clock things that had been used since like 1910 that, where security guards had to go around the factories to each station. You had to take the key and turn it into the time clock to prove that you actually inspected the spot. Yeah. Smart. Oh yeah. So I had one of those. I had to wear it around my shoulder.
Obviously, your reputation preceded you.
Everybody had to do it.
They brought it from
But listen what happened. So I'm going to tell the truth about this. The statute of limitations is up on it. I was poor AF and starving like Marvin. I worked nights, and after they closed the clubhouse, what did Daddy do? Daddy went in the popcorn machine, all of the popcorn that was left from that day. I got me a garbage bag and I loaded that bitch up and I ate popcorn. And then one night I was in the back of one of those spots in the back of the thing, and it had been raining a lot, basically because it was a swamp before it wasn't. And I was in the back and I got the little Mitsubishi truck stuck.
That doesn't surprise me.
And you know what
at
I
all.
did? I left the keys in that bitch and I walked to the front of the property and got on my motorcycle and I rode out.
You know, I don't think you have ever told the story of going down the road in Livingston Parish and getting stuck. Do you remember?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I get stuck everywhere. I got stuck 3 times in a yard this week.
No. In your unit.
I got stuck so many times. I could tell a whole episode on times of getting stuck and running into other units.
I could tell an episode, but mine would be like 5 minutes long because when I get stuck, I get unstuck real quick.
Yeah, well, what you do is throw mud into the top of the trees. But anyway, that has nothing to do with crime other than I stole some popcorn.
Well, the story that I was telling had to do with crime. You were in your
I'm sorry.
unit. You were in your unit.
I thought you were going to say I interrupted you again, but
No.
which I did.
I actually
I have
your story too.
write that down because I have like 1,400 of them. I just need to call John T. Wilkerson, who messaged me yesterday. Thank you, John T. He just messaged, hey brother, I just want to tell you that I love you.
He's always done good about keeping
he's
in
up
touch.
he's up in Montana or somewhere now. Montana or Wyoming. I get it confused. Hey, but true crime time 4. Roll with it. Kissimmee, Florida.
Yes, we're at a middle school and we have a woman. I shouldn't have prefaced it that way because this woman, this doctor, was trying to teach somebody about foreplay.
Oh Lord, it's a sex doctor?
So I shouldn't have prefaced it with that. I should have just said we have a doctor today that's teaching someone about foreplay.
Who doesn't know about foreplay?
Well,
why do you have
eighth
to be
grade
taught?
student.
Oh fuck. I thought it was an adult. I'm like, motherfucker, watch some fucking porn.
Do you remember that famous movie where the attorney is sitting in court and asks everybody to, or maybe the guy was in jail and he says, close your eyes. And he starts describing a girl getting raped and chased and like murdered. And then he tells the people he was telling the story to, now imagine that she's black. He was talking to a bunch of white people. It's a very famous, like John Grisham movie.
I have no idea. Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
It's I wish I could remember.
Tell us the story because I just got some breaking news in, but I'll wait for you to get finished.
Okay, well, so Dr. Kiva Lark, who's 53 years old, is the assistant principal at Lake Marion Creek Middle School. And she basically had a student come into her office and she said her feet were hurting. And then she removed her shoes and placed her bare feet in this student's lap.
Nice.
And instructed him to rub the feet.
Christmas vacation when the grandparents get there and grabbing the little boy's face. Oh, your cheeks are so cute. Mm-hmm. Grandma's got bunions. I'll pay you a nickel if you rub them for me.
Well, so the student didn't know what to do, of course. So your assistant principal, their disciplinarians telling you, rub my feet. Putting them in your lap, you rub the feet. But she told him that he wasn't doing it correctly. So she reached over and began rubbing his arms, demonstrating how she wanted it done.
Pretty sure that's inappropriate.
She said, I'm teaching you foreplay as she's doing this. Now,
how old's the kid?
He's in 8th grade.
Yeah, okay.
So, but it gets crazier because in the room is Makivia Scarvers, who is the behavioral interventionist of the school.
And she's watching it?
She's a witness to this.
Well, they probably play with each other.
So Dr. Lark placed her legs across the student's lap again, and her bare feet were exposed, and then she told him to rub her feet, and she said, rub them as if you loved her. So then there's another witness in the room, and this is a student. It was a female student that was also in the room, and she later told a school administrator and spoke to investigators, and she said that the boy massaged Dr. Lark's feet for about 30 minutes. And when he didn't do it right, Lark rubbed his biceps and said, this is the way I want you to rub me. And again, like I said, this is foreplay. I'm preparing you for when you get a girlfriend. I'm fulfilling one of your fantasies because boys fantasize about their teachers.
Oh my goodness.
So the charges on this woman.
She isn't lying about that part. Boys who fantasize about their teachers.
Well, She's placed on administrative leave. She has 2 felony charges, lewd and lascivious conduct. 1, lewd offense against a student by an authority figure was the second one. And the case is being handled by Polk County Sheriff's Office.
Polk County Sheriff grade judge, and holy shit, she will be a doctor no more. That should have been an effed up professional, right? Well, not to cut you short, but to cut you short, this just came across, and I'm sure it's going to be a big deal. So we're going to Nashville, and a woman has been stabbed to death at a Nashville elementary school, and the suspect is still on the run. So Nakura Alfonso Acevedo, who's 52, had just arrived at the school on the morning of April 14th. Y'all were recording this early, when she was killed. An employee at a Nashville elementary school was stabbed to death after arriving to work on the morning of April 14th. Nakura Alfonso Acevedo, 52, had just arrived at her job at the Chadwell Elementary School around 6 a.m. when the attack took place. This according to Metro Nashville Police Department. Alfonso Acevedo had been working at the school as a custodian. One of her fellow employees called 911 after arriving to school and finding her body in the parking lot. Now, after investigating the scene, Nashville Police Department named the victim's estranged husband, who I told you, 54-year-old Canido Raul Rubio Perez, as a suspect in the case. And detectives think that Rubio Perez was lying in wait for Alfonso Acevedo in the parking lot when she arrived at school. And Nashville police is now searching for Rubio Perez, and he's not been captured as of Tuesday morning. And meanwhile, the Metro Nashville schools announced in a letter to parents the classes would be relocated for the day while police secured the crime scene. And the killing occurred prior to the start of the school day. And by the time the students began to arrive, the district had buses ready to take them to a nearby middle school. So classes continued to take place and police could investigate. And they're saying, if you know where Rubio Perez is, call Crime Stoppers at 615-862-7329. Thankful it wasn't a mass killing or a mass shooting of students, but fuck.
That's horrible.
I mean, that's going to become like urban legend. Everybody at the school, elementary school, ooh, this is where she got killed.
I know.
Sad.
It's very, very sad. Guess we're going to be sticking on schools today because I've got another school story.
Women, have you ever had one of those days where everything just feels off? Like you're stuck in the middle of a mystery and you can't solve it? Your energy's crashing, your mood's swinging like a suspect in an interrogation room, and no matter what you do, nothing adds up. Well, Cyndi has been there, and sometimes the real culprit is hiding in the shadows, is hormonal imbalance. Here's a twist. More than 1,000 hormone disruptors are living rent-free in our world, lurking in our food, our air, even our skincare. And when hormones go haywire, it can feel like you're trapped in your own personal true crime story, especially during premenopause or menopause. But here's the good news. This is the one case you can crack with Hormone Harmony by Happy Mammoth. All you need to do is take their free 2-minute quiz. You'll answer a few simple questions. Just like that, you'll get a personalized recommendation to help bring your hormones back into balance. No long investigation required. What I love is that Hormone Harmony is made with adaptogens, natural science-backed herbal extracts that help your body adapt to stress and hormonal changes. Whether it's PMS, hot flashes, brain fog, or sleepless nights, this product is designed to help you feel like you again. Over 40,000 glowing reviews don't lie, and neither do the results. 86% of women say they started losing weight. 77% say their mood improved. And the biggest win, 100% say they feel like themselves again. For a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use the code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com, code RLRC for 15% off today. This April, we're celebrating Earth Month, and it's the perfect time to think about the choices we make every day, especially the ones we don't always think about, like where we sleep. If there's one thing I've learned, it's the quality is sustainability. When you invest in something well made, it lasts longer, and that means less waste, fewer replacements, and a bigger impact on protecting our planet. That's why I love Avocado Green Mattress. Avocado makes certified organic mattresses, crafted with non-toxic materials in their very own zero-waste factory. They've already diverted 85% of their waste from landfills, and they're aiming for 90%. It's not just about comfort. It's about caring for the planet with every choice we make. And here's something I really love. Avocado is a proud member of the 1% for the planet. That means at least 1% of every dollar they earn goes straight to environmental nonprofits tackling climate change and protecting ecosystems. So when you choose Avocado, you're not just sleeping better, you're giving back. If you're thinking about upgrading your mattress, do it with purpose. Choose one that's better for you and better for the planet. Head to avocadomattress.com today and save up to 10% on certified organic mattresses. Dream of better for you and the planet. All right.
It was a sixth grader this time.
All right.
And she was being too loud at lunch. So they're calling this the school security guard, but they're usually called
school resource officers.
Right.
But a lot of school districts don't have that.
Okay.
They just have security guards.
Okay.
School resource officers are armed state certified police officers.
So you never were a resource officer.
Fuck no.
But you were really good friends with our school resource officer.
All of them. And actually, they just started out as that. They really were DARE officers that would just go teach school for like 3 hours a day or something and went to different schools. And now the parish is so big and the sheriff's office is so big, they have them everywhere.
Right. Well, so the school security guard was frustrated because this girl, this sixth grader, was just being too loud. And guess what he did to shut her up? What could a security guard do?
Tase them. Spray them.
He duct taped her mouth.
Oh, Jesus.
And then he paraded her through campus.
Really? Duct tape.
Duct tape.
And how old is she?
11.
Yeah, okay. Her daddy, he's getting his ass beat.
So this happened at Blair Middle School in Pasadena, California. And her name is Naomi Hurtado. And she was just sitting with her friends, laughing, playing, being a kid. And her father said that he was told she was being a little too loud. And she was told to quiet down, but she didn't. Like she acknowledges that she was wrong. And
right,
whatever.
yeah. Oh, the kids will be kids. Shit.
So what happened next is when the security guard duct taped her mouth, paraded her through school. But there's a little bit more information about this. So at a press conference, the daddy, Ricardo Hurtado, described what his daughter told him. He said a female school security guard ordered Naomi to cover her mouth with duct tape, and Naomi obeyed. But that wasn't the end of it. The guard then walked Naomi through the entire campus, from the middle school through the high school and all the way to her next classroom, still wearing the duct tape. And the daddy says, I guess she walked it all the way, humiliated her from the middle school, walking her through the high school, walking her all the way to the next classroom, had to have been humiliating. She told the teacher in the next classroom that she had to make her keep the duct tape on her face. So a police report has been filed, and the case is now at Pasadena City Attorney's Office, and they'll will determine whether there was, going to be a criminal investigation moving forward. But as of right now, no charges have been filed.
Yeah, they're going to send it for a grand jury.
And the person involved was a substitute security guard. And we had something not like this, but a substitute teacher in one of our school systems, local, not in Livingston, but in a nearby school system, that some child peed or pooed and they made him clean it up, but it was a substitute teacher that did that. I don't know if you remember that. It was in Zachary. I didn't pay too much attention to it, but anyway, the guard is no longer employed by the district, and the daddy goes on to say that the little girl the 11-year-old continues days later to say that she can still feel the stickiness of the duct tape. Yeah. And it was hard to take off.
Yeah, well, and then imagine it was. The Stupid people. I know you don't like that word.
I don't like that word.
Dumb people suck. That dude's stupid.
It was a girl. It was, yeah.
The security guard is stupid.
Yeah.
That person is stupid.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going totally off script here. I haven't told you this, but this actually means something to me. And I think it means something to every American. And I can't believe it's been 12 years. So this weekend, our son is running in a marathon in New Orleans, right? Yeah. And y'all are all going down there for it. I'm going to be with my daddy. It's a big deal, right? Mm-hmm. And you and I used to talk about going to the Boston Marathon one day, but not actually running it, y'all. We were going to pub run it. We were going to bounce from pub to pub while the race was going on and be at the finish line. Yeah. I distinctly remember I was with the state police sitting in my office when it came across the screen that one bomb had gone off and then another bomb had gone off. So everybody knows about it, but I'm going to go into the whole deal because I'm going to talk about it, what happened. It's like New Year's Eve in New Orleans, right? Mm-hmm. The crowds, they know they're there, they plan for it, et cetera. I want to talk about what happened, but then I want to talk about what didn't happen. But I want to give credence to the ones who were murdered, including cops and everything else. Mm-hmm. So just bear with me. In 2013, I'm citing People Magazine, y'all. In 2013, Dzhokhar Tsarnaev and Tamerlan Tsarnaev planted 2 bombs at the finish line of the legendary marathon. Now, 12 years have passed since the 2 bombs went off at the finish line of the Boston Marathon, and only one of the perpetrators is still alive. But wait till I tell you, because I didn't even know one of the parts of this. Mm-hmm. But on April the 15th, 2013, Dzhokhar Tsarnaev and Tamerlan Tsarnaev planted 2 pressure cooker bombs among the crowds, which were cheering on runners as they completed the historic race. We've all seen the videos. Mm-hmm. They're walking up in a crowd and dropping the thing and turning around and walking out, right? And everything is blowing up. They're the only ones headed in the other direction. But the brothers left the area and detonated the bombs remotely around 2:49 p.m., killing 3 people and injuring over 200. Yeah. And it was such a miracle. I watched a documentary afterwards of the people who were helping people and bleeding out and carrying people out. Just, that's what happens when you take away race and religion and whatever, and you're a human being, and the human being next to you is dying. Yeah. Right? So, but then it turns into a shit show. Right. We don't know who did it. They didn't have the video surveillance footage at the time and all that, and everything's on, Boston's on lockdown. The world is awaiting. We know it's a terrorist attack. Mm-hmm. But in the days-long manhunt that followed, Dzhokhar, if I get his name wrong, fuck him, and Tamerlan killed police officer Sean Collier, and I know I got his name right, and kidnapped a man while they attempted to flee Boston. Now, police, Sean Collier, the city's shut down. Mm-hmm. He's outside the university police, like I used to be, sitting in his car, and they fucking walk up to him and execute him. Yeah. And this other dude, they got him. I remember this from the documentary. They went up to him. He happened to be one of the only people on the street. He went to a gas station to get gas, and they got him, right? Yeah. So, anyway, but police caught up with the brothers before they got too far, and Tamerlan was killed after he was shot, and his brother ran him over. And there's video evidence that they get him out. Tamerlan's like, fuck it, I'm going down in a blaze. His little brother ran like a little bitch. And during the process because they had him blocked in of trying to get away, he actually ran over his brother, killing him. Even if you kill somebody more, other than all the leaks he sprung from the Boston lead, which rightfully so was plugged into him. But let me tell you what has happened in the 12 years since the fatal attack. Okay. All right. So Tamerlan, the motherfucker that got run over, who was 26 at the time, he planted the first bomb during the 2013 Boston Marathon in front of the athletic retailer Marathon Sports. Mm-hmm. 2 years before the bombing, a foreign government had asked the FBI for information regarding Tamerlan and believed that he could be a follower of radical Islam. Now, the request from that government noted that he had changed drastically since 2010 and was prepared to leave the U.S. to join an unspecific underground groups. They had him on the radar.
Yeah.
But you know what? They probably got a million motherfuckers on the radar. But the FBI actually did their job. They interviewed Tamerlan and his family members, but they found no sign of radical activity. Prisons are full of dummies. They were smart. They hid it. Yeah. But days after he orchestrated the Boston Marathon bombing with his brother Dzhokhar, one of the brothers shot and killed Sean Collier, who I told you all about, who was a police officer at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. And this was after the FBI released their surveillance photos of the bombing suspects. So they were up in arms about this. The cops are fighting amongst themselves. Okay, if we release the pictures now, it's going to cause, will it cause more harm than good? Because they're going to know we're on to them. Right. Well, they released it. It was 50-50 call either way. And the brothers saw it, and that's when they executed the cop. Mm-hmm. So, then the manhunt is on, right? Everybody knows who they are. We're looking for them. During the manhunt, Tamerlan was shot multiple times and eventually ran over by his douchebag brother, while the police were trying to arrest him. Well, guess what? Dzhokhar, got, however you say his idiot's name, evil name, he was the one that got away. Mm-hmm. Right? But you don't know. On manhunts, you just never know. You don't know if they're lying in the bushes next to you or somebody picked them up and they're 1,000 miles away. Right. But you got to hunt. And look, they were fucking hunting. They were going door to door. And as happens in any manhunt, 911 won't stop ringing. You're a uniform officer. You're responding to every cat in the backyard, to every whatever, right? Mm-hmm. So eventually, Dzhokhar Tsarnaev is, he's a convicted terrorist for planning the second bomb at the 2013 Boston Marathon in front of a restaurant called the Forum. And now, at the time, he was a 19-year-old student at the University of Massachusetts at Dartmouth, and he was apprehended by police in Watertown, Massachusetts after a 4-day manhunt on April 19, 2013. Y'all, they found him hiding in a boat in the back of somebody's yard. They shot that motherfucker up too.
I remembered that correctly.
That is correct. During his trial, he was facing 30 charges, and his attorneys claimed that his older brother was the mastermind behind the bombing and that their client just followed him.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't fucking make a difference, right? Yeah. You followed him. Hey, there's no denying you dropped the bomb, motherfucker. We saw you on camera, put it down right next to those kids, and that bitch blew up. Mm-hmm. So whatever. Anyway, they claim that. And during closing arguments, defense attorney Judy Clark told the jury, if not for Tamerlan, it wouldn't have happened. Right? So Dzhokhar, whatever his name is, has never denied his role in the bombing and claimed that he and his brother acted alone without the aid of an outside group.
I doubt that.
Yeah, me too. But 3 people were killed in the Boston Marathon bombing. Crystal Marie Campbell, Lindsay Liu, and Martin Richard. And he was 8 years old at the time of his death. He's one of the little boys that was standing next to that bag. Mm-hmm. In addition to their 3 fatalities, over 260 people were injured in the explosion, and at least 17 of those lost 1 or more limbs.
Oh my gosh.
Right? And then I saw some really positive shit, how years later, like one guy came back and ran with an artificial leg and stuff and all that because I know you're crying and it's okay, baby. This time I'm going to allow you to cry because it gives me God bumps. They set it off right before the finish line where everybody was going to be. So all these people that got blown up They said, a couple hundred yards apart, but got blown up and didn't get to finish. A lot of them went back and like, we're not going to let you hold us down, bitch. I got God bumps. But anyway, so let's talk about how Tamerlan died. So after they fucking brutally murdered Officer Sean Collier, the brothers carjacked and kidnapped a Northeastern University graduate student, Dun Ming, and forced him to drive them to Watertown, Massachusetts in their attempt to haul ass. But while they were filling up at a gas station, Ming escaped.
Good.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
So he ran. And police were able to, they took his car, but police were able to track down the car using his phone, which he had left inside.
Smart.
Right? So hours later, Tamerlan and Dzhokhar engaged in a shootout with the police. Officers were able to tackle Tamerlan after multiple gunshot wounds weakened him, but his brother was so kind enough to run him over with Ming's car because he was running like a little bitch.
Yeah.
Tamerlan was pronounced dead at around 1:30 a.m. on April 19th at one of the hospitals. His cause of death was traumatic injuries to his head and torso. So basically, I'm sure some of that was bullets, but his brother murdered him too. So let's go to Dzhokhar. I don't even like to say their names. What was he charged with? Well, he faced the 30 felony charges and they carried the death penalty. Now, among them were charges of conspiring to use a weapon of mass destruction against persons and property resulting in death. Now, during his sentencing in June of 2015, a close friend of Campbell's, Karen McWaters, told the convicted killer that he would die alone in prison.
Yeah.
Now, one of the survivors, Rebecca Gregory, who lost a leg in an explosion, told him to listen closely before saying, "You create mass destruction, but do you know what mass destruction does? It brings people together. The legacy is survivor strength and resilience." Oh my God, I got goosebumps.
Right. Yeah.
So, and I remember when they opened Boston back up and they actually, the baseball team played that night and it was Boston Strong. It made me cry then too, right? And I don't even watch baseball most of the time. So in March of 2015, the living brother was found guilty on all 30 criminal charges and was later sentenced to death by lethal injection. The story doesn't end there.
I didn't think it did.
An appeal court vacated his death sentence in 2020 after it was revealed that at least 2 jurors had posted about the attack on social media prior to the trial.
Dude,
How in the fuck do you not post about the attack if you live in Boston?
Oh, it was after the trial.
It was before the trial they posted.
Well, they chose him as a juror.
It was before they were on the jury. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Maybe they lied about it. I don't know, but I'm just telling you why they overturned the death penalty. But guess what? Our good old United States Supreme Court came back in 2022 and overruled the appeals court. Thank you very much. And reinstated the convicted bomber's death sentence.
Good.
And as of 2025, he is being held on death row at the United States Penitentiary Administrative Maximum Facility in Florence, Colorado, which is called the Shoe, right? That's like, they got that motherfucker down to science.
Bomb on him.
But anyway, this facility is also housed other notorious terrorists like the 9/11 conspirator, whatever. I'm not even going to say his name. And the Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski, and the attempted shoe bomber, Richard Reed. You remember that guy? Got on the plane, tried to light his fucking shoe on fire.
Yeah.
Wasn't very successful either. So I just wanted to give credence to that on this date because this is a very, very important date in American history. America strong, worldwide strong. People support it from all over the world.
Yeah.
And if you're a piece of shit terrorist, and they're out there, just like the guy on New Year's Eve in New Orleans, and y'all are going down there this weekend. I won't be there to have my head on a swivel, but I know I've trained you well. I've trained my people, my tribe well, and y'all will be safe. We're not going to let terrorists dictate what we want to do, right? You and I went down a couple of days before the Super Bowl, and you know what? I've never seen, and I think we talked about this, never seen, and look, I've seen a lot of motherfucking police presence. I've never seen police presence like I saw in those days. But you know what? Nobody got a terrorist attack off.
No.
Fuck you, terrorists. And I probably shouldn't be saying that on Holy Week and all that, but
I don't think
fuck,
Jesus
fuck
likes
you,
terrorists
terrorists.
either.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean,
I don't understand. Well, you know, I'm not getting into religion, but I don't understand at what point in someone's ideology that they get twisted around that I go kill as many people as I can, and I'm going straight to a mansion made of gold and 21 virgins.
Yeah.
They're not throwing shit because they're true Muslims. Now, these people being radicalized, whatever you want to call it, I don't care. True Muslims are awesome people.
Yes.
But there's awesome people in every walk of faith.
Faith is beautiful too.
And it was around a long time before Christianity, and I get that. But, you know, this Holy Week, for whoever you believe in, love one another.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Love one another. If everybody truly did that, you and I wouldn't have a podcast.
Ugh. Spam calls. Sound familiar? Introducing Line 2. Get a second phone number right on your existing phone. Imagine discounts, appointments, online forms. Handle it all without giving out your personal number. It's like having a secret weapon against spam. And when those unwanted calls sneak through, boom, blocked. No more interruptions, no more stress. Stay connected, stay protected. Keep your main number safe and out of harm's way. Ready to take back your phone? Visit line2.com/audio or download Line 2 in the App Store today.
Just love and respect. I mean, you don't have to love me, but at least have respect. You know what I mean?
I have both.
I'm saying as a human, like there's certain people out there that I don't love, I don't actually like, but I'm going to respect.
I'm going to respect
them as
them
a
enough
human.
that I don't have to mess with them.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not going to blow you up.
Right.
And try to you setting off two bombs in the most historic race in the United States of America, a couple 100 yards apart. You planned it for a long time. You did it to cause mass casualties and mass terror. But you didn't succeed because here we are, idiot. I hope you have some way to listen to Real Life Real Crime on death row. And I can't wait until they kill you. And then that's my respect for him.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Sickening.
Pay for it, bitches.
Sickening. Well,
I know I effed you up by going off script, but it is what it is. Well, I mean, that was it. I think that was one of my last years with the state police and everything else. And I don't know. But let me just throw one more because I don't know a lot about famous people. Y'all, I'm going to share a little secret. Cyndi and I have been watching American Idol for the first time in years. And I truly know how old I am now because I don't know a single song that they sang.
But that's just your choice. I know most of the songs.
Oh, I know. You're singing your ass off over there. And I'm like, this is the worst shit I've ever heard in my entire life. I mean, some of them have great voices, but the songs. If
you heard the real song and not their spin on the song, you would expect there's a lot that you would like.
Well, you're up to date on the Kardashians and songs and all that. Yeah.
You're up to date on the Kardashians. I get it by osmosis.
So you ever heard of a dude named rapper Tay-K47?
I actually have not.
Well, that shocks the shit out of me.
I mean, I might know his song.
Rapper Tay-K47. Well, I cannot believe when I tell WL you haven't heard of this dude and what happened, you're going to be shocked. The whole world might be shocked, especially if you're from the South. So this rapper is best known for his 2017 song, The Race. And he was previously sentenced to 55 years in prison for a separate shooting, a killing that I'm not going to be telling you about now. All right.
Okay.
So, but he's back and he has been convicted of murder for a second time. Right. So Tay-Key, but I'm just calling him Tay-K. Tay-K, let's have it. Is how I'm supposed to say it?
I don't know. I've never heard of him.
So, there you go. Tay-K, whose real name is Tamor McIntyre, he appeared in court on Monday, April 14th, having been accused of killing 23-year-old Mark Anthony Saldivar. And the photographer, Saldivar, was found fatally shot at a Chick-fil-A.
Oh.
Oh,
now I'm surprised I haven't heard about it.
Because my family supports Chick-fil-A. They'll probably pay the light bill. Anyway, it's sad though. The photographer was found fatally shot at a Chick-fil-A in San Antonio on April 23rd of 2017. This according to KSAT 12 and News 4 SA. But McIntyre was found not guilty of capital murder, which would have meant automatic life sentence without the chance of parole. However, in Texas, it would have meant the death penalty. But however, jurors unanimously agreed to convict him for the lesser charge of murder. And prosecutors said that McIntyre had tried to rob Saldivar. I guess he tried to steal his camera equipment.
Yeah.
I guess the take key wasn't working out too good for him. But maybe Saldivar put up a little of a fight because Take Key shot him in the car. But anyway, the prosecutor said McIntyre tried to rob Saldivar of his camera equipment before shooting him in the car he had picked up in. I don't understand that. Anyways, the rapper's attorney criticized the police investigation of the shooting. Naturally, what else you gonna do? Alleging that there were too much reliance on statement from witnesses. Okay, motherfucker, there's not always cameras in every motherfucker I got doing life without, I think almost every one of them. I never had a camera in any of them.
Did you have eyewitnesses?
Oh, that's all I had.
Or no witnesses?
Well, eyewitnesses and fingerprints and shit like that.
Yeah, but you all...
Yeah, sometimes no witnesses.
Right.
Absolutely correct. So, Tamor McIntyre is not guilty of capital murder or manslaughter, and the reason for that is very simple, John Hunter, one of his douchebag attorneys, said during closing arguments. This according to NBC News. He said, you have to do it right. You have to do the work. In this case, clearly demonstrates that the work wasn't done.
What's the work? Killing?
No, having it on film. Hey, guess what? Murders don't always happen in church or in front of cameras in Walmart, right? The McIntyre is already serving a 55-year sentence for his involvement in a home invasion and robbery in Mansfield, Texas, that resulted in the death of a 21-year-old Ethan Walker in 2016. So evidently he's from California. The California native did not pull the trigger in that case, right? And prosecutors argued he knew the plan to steal drugs and money from the house where the victim was, and therefore he was just as responsible. And prosecutors said that, Take K also knew the incident could end with someone being shot. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you go in a rob a bank with guns, you scream, get down on the floor, motherfuckers, or we're going to kill you, and your firearm goes off. And I've had cases like this, Ashley Posey, and the gun accidentally goes off and somebody gets killed, you catch the charge. Part of doing business. So anyway, in that case, the victim, Walker, was fatally shot in the stomach after he told the robbers, which included the 16-year-old TK, that he didn't have drugs or money. And Walker's roommate, Zachary Belote, was wounded but survived. Now, McIntyre, TK, was placed under house arrest until his hearing for the incident. But guess what Einstein did while he was on house arrest?
He partied.
He cut off his ankle monitor and went on the run. And as a fugitive, he released
A song.
the song, The Race, on which he raps, "Fuck a beat. I was trying to beat a case, but I ain't been beat that case, bitch. I did the race. Skirt, skirt." And the music video for the track shows the rapper posing next to a wanted poster himself. That's how he got famous.
Jeez Louise.
It was while on the run that he robbed and fatally shot the 23-year-old Mark Saldivar at the Chick-fil-A in San Antonio on April 23rd, 2017. And look, they didn't catch him until June the 30th. In New Jersey, and he was brought back to Fort Worth. So McIntyre, me and him are pretty tight, so I'm gonna call him TK. TK is facing an additional 5 to 99 years in prison for the death of Saldivar. And Judge Boyd told jurors that they could continue with the punishment phase of the trial on the afternoon of Tuesday, April the 15th. So what they do in cases like that, when the death penalty is off the table, they're going to hear the same shit like y'all been hearing on Scores with Scott Peterson. They're going to hear all the shit about how TK, was a good boy. One time he helped an old lady cross the street and all the bullshit and whatever. Then they're going to make the sentencing recommendation, which I would hope would be 99 years on top of whatever else. Unfortunately, the home invasion robbery where they killed the other guy, he probably wasn't a prominent citizen, so they didn't get the death penalty.
So he became the well-known rapper on the run after he was
holding up his wanted poster.
But he wasn't a rapper before any of this.
Oh, I'm sure he was. I mean, you don't get the name TK by not being a rapper.
Well, maybe he named himself that.
He was a rapper. I'm going on the record officially, even though I don't know officially, saying he was a rapper.
Okay.
But he wasn't a rapper before Woody Overton was a rapper.
No, that's for darn sure.
We knew. Do you know what happened yesterday in the year of 1987? The Beastie Boys came out with License to Chill.
I was like, how can I relate? I guess we were together every day that year. So I was like, where's he going
Beastie
with this?
Boys came out with it. And me and my horse in a quart of beer. Paul Revere, baby.
Oh my gosh.
You got to fight for your right to party. And y'all, happy Easter. May you be blessed. May you love one another. May you find a golden Easter egg if you hunt that dude. May you take your daddy fishing on Good Friday like you always did, if that's your tradition. May you eat meat on Sunday, if that's your tradition. If the Easter Bunny's coming, I got to say this. Easter decorations are up, y'all. And my wife, God bless her, our youngest is 14. He'll be 15 in a couple months. The rest of them are grown and gone. And my wife last year, I said, what? No Easter Bunny prints in the house? And she was like, well, I was thinking the kids were too old for that. And guess what? I got up the next morning. There were Easter Bunny prints.
Well, I had to wait for you to go. You get a basket too. The Easter
I'm not
Bunny
complaining.
can't come while you're still awake.
I don't know. You're such a good woman. All right. I love y'all. Happy Easter, people. Happy Easter lifers. We love y'all. And anybody that's hurting, and there's a lot of you, prayers and well wishes.
For sure.
And I'm going to say it because it's my show. Doesn't have anything to do with what y'all believe in. I'm thanking Jesus for dying on the cross for my sins. And I love y'all, and I'm Woody Overton.
I'm Cyndi Overton.
We will holler y'all on Monday after Easter, and guess what? We won't be in the state of Louisiana.
Where will we be?
We will be.
Where in the world is Woody Overton?
We will be
in
What?
I know.
You know, but we're going to be in several places.
I know, but one of them.
There's the 7 wonders of the world. That's what you want to say.
I would know what I was trying to figure out a way of saying without saying it.
It's actually a work trip.
I'll believe it when I see it. It's one of those places that we're going to.
Yeah,
that's Show Me State.
It is a work/educational trip, and we are going to do a lot of work, obviously, but we're going to educate a lot of people in different things, including our son.
Including you.
Including me. Oh, yeah. Daddy's going back to school.
No, I meant about the 7 wonders of the world. You've already been educated on that.
I'm talking about, I'm going to be learning some new processes and things that'll happen. But we're out of here. We're out of here. I'm Woody Overton, Cyndi Overton, your host of True Crime Time for this last Thursday before Good Friday. Peace.
Real talk. Sometimes life throws decisions our way that feel impossible to navigate. That's where a little guidance can make all the difference. At Psychic Source, our trusted psychics go beyond basic predictions. They provide real insight, helping you understand your situation, see your options clearly, and take confident next steps. Your reading is always private and judgment-free, so whether you're facing a crossroads in love, career, or life's bigger questions, you'll get honest, compassionate advice in a safe space. And the best part? Our psychics are available 24/7 by phone, chat, or video, whenever you need them. Plus, we stand by our readings. If you're not satisfied, it's free. Because when you have greater wisdom, you can create a better outcome. Ready to take control of your future? Get a reading for just 83 cents per minute, plus 3 minutes free. Visit PsychicSource.com and use promo code HELLO to get started. Psychic Source. Insight when you need it most.
With so many options, why choose Arizona State University?
For me, the only online option was ASU because of the quality. Their faculty was really involved with their students and care about your personal journey. The dedication to my personal development from my professors, that's been extremely valuable to me.
Earn your degree from the nation's most innovative university. Online. That's a degree better. Explore more than 300 undergraduate, graduate, and certificate programs at asuonline.asu.edu.